I had a lot of opportunities to go to different schools, but I chose West Texas because there was never any doubt that that's where I was going to go. And the reason is actually best said by another recipient of this award years ago. It was Gary Culp, and what he said that night really resonated with me. He said that this was his family's university, that he had had a generation from his family had always been at West Texas since its inception. And that if there was a common thread of the success his family had enjoyed, it was the education that they had received at West Texas. And I was sitting there thinking, wow, that's the same story of my family and probably a lot of families in the Texas Panhandle.
Scott's been a great friend, both professionally and personally for, 15, 20 years now. As a former two-sport athlete here, I got to know him when I started to work here at WT, and just through the years, his support for athletics has been incredible, but also on a personal level has just been outstanding. It's not just financial gifts that Scott has helped the program with. He helps us with recruiting, with ideas, and he's just been a great friend of our program, and I know the university.
I saw him walking at Kimbrough one night after a football game, and somebody said, "That's Scott Doors," and so I just went up and introduced myself to him, and we become friends, and he's an easy guy to become friends with.
The thing I like about Scott is the fact that he never forgot where he came from, whether it be West Texas A&M University or his old hometown of Farnsworth, Texas. He returned to Farnsworth after he sold his business and basically completely revitalized the big city of Farnsworth, Texas.
I know Scott Doors from Farnsworth, Texas, where I spent the first 5 years of my life, and Scott was the first friend that I can remember and is still my friend. You know, lots of people are successful and not everybody turns that to good use by being philanthropic about it, and Scott has been philanthropic not only for WT, which he's been a great supporter of WT, but he's generous to people that you wouldn't know about. His project about building up Farnsworth, Texas, and kind of revitalizing that town is really remarkable. Farnsworth is a metropolis of about 150 people, I would say. It's between Spearman and Perryton. And so, Farnsworth was not really flourishing very much. Not very many people come back to Farnsworth. And Scott, when he was successful in his business, decided that he would like to spruce it up. And he built several new sort of modest income houses for people who worked there, or for, let's say, farm workers that might live in the neighborhood.
He's from a small town here in the Texas Panhandle, came to WT and played basketball and football, and then went out into the business world and became very successful. You know,
he was a two-sport athlete at the WT when that was possible.
When I was a kid, I came to all the WT football games and basketball games, and I remember Scott Doors coming over the PA speaker. So Scott Doors has always had this kind of mystique in my mind of a guy that could do both.
To be a two-sport athlete is incredibly tough, and I think Scott would tell you that.
I had like 3 years of my college life, I didn't have a single afternoon off. I was either at a practice or at a game, and that was pretty challenging. But it was enjoyable. It didn't hurt me.
Scott and people like Scott are so important to our success because they're the living proof that people can be an athlete here and then go out in the world, and the things that they learn as an athlete they can apply in the business world and their personal lives and become successful.
You know, it's neat to rub elbows with a guy who had the mental kind of capacity to come up with a brilliant idea like he did that changed banking. And then what's interesting is that he's turned around and given so much to so many other people. You know, he's a giver.
So WT is very important to my family. It has been and it will be. And it's where I like to make an investment because I think I need to pay back and I want to pay forward.
Well, I think Scott is deserving of this for several reasons, but one is that he honors and values his time at WT.
When I hear my name Scott Doors used in the same sentence with the word distinguished, it's hard for me to reconcile. You see, I grew up on a tractor.
He's the type of graduate that WT has that we're all proud of.
Scott is incredibly deserving of this award, and on behalf of all of our coaches and athletes, we want to congratulate you, Scott, for this honor. We want to thank you for helping make us better.
You know, it reminds me of something that the late great Payne Stewart, the professional golfer, said. He was being interviewed, and the interviewer asked him, said, "Why in the world are you so happy?" And his answer was, "Because I'm a man of great faith, and I can't wait until tomorrow." Well, I'm 68 years old. I don't know if I've ever had a better year. I too am a man of faith, and I can't wait to see what the future will bring.